Então vamos dar continuidade agora com a nossa segunda convidada internacional, que é a Leslie Lucas. Ela vai nos falar diretamente da Califórnia sobre a política de resíduos zero do Condado de Sonoma, lá nos Estados Unidos. Leslie, por favor, se apresenta e conta um pouco do seu trabalho. Você tem 10 minutos.
Thank you very much for having me today. My name is Leslie Lukacs, and I'm Executive Director of Zero Waste Sonoma. So today I'm going to talk about zero waste policy here in Sonoma County, California. So for those that don't know, Sonoma County is just north of San Francisco, about an hour north. We are 10 jurisdictions in the county, so that means 10 cities. And we oversee all recycling, composting, and household waste for these 10 cities. And there's about 500 people who live in Sonoma County. So we have set a zero waste resolution, and that was something we developed a few years ago, and of being zero waste by 2030. And we work with all of our jurisdictions to pass this resolution. When putting the resolution together, we created 36 zero waste initiatives that we wanted the city and the county to consider for adoption. And we focused on 6 target areas, which included reducing waste, recovering and reusing, education and outreach, green purchasing and environmental purchasing, extended producer responsibility, meaning that the producer of that product has some responsibility in the end-of-life management of that product. And then service providers and our workforce, so that how we can incorporate good working environments for those who work in the recycling and waste management industry, and then also fiscal responsibility. So we make sure that these programs that we implement are equitable to all factors of the community. In California, we have major legislation that's driving some of our initiatives. One is new legislation called Senate Bill 1383. And what this bill does is it recognizes that when organics make their way to the landfill, they generate a very pollutant greenhouse gas called methane. Methane is 86 times more pollutant as a short-lived greenhouse gas. So the state of California created legislation that required organics to go out of the landfill. But not only organics, they also focused on food waste. In California, we have a large segment of our population who is food insecure. So 1 in 5 children every night go hungry in California. So they wanted to make sure that when we're managing our organic material, that we're also addressing food insecurity. So SB 1383 requires that by the year 2025, 75% reduction of organic material going into the landfill annually. And organic waste is considered yard waste, food waste, and food soil paper. In addition, the law states that by the year 2025, we must see an increase in the recovery of edible food by 20%. So this law is very prescriptive in what it states, and it requires a number of steps that jurisdictions need to focus on to comply with the regulations. So here in Sonoma County, all of these materials can go into the green bin. That includes, as I mentioned, yard debris, unwanted food, food soil paper, and all this material gets collected at both the resident and the commercial business and taken to a facility for composting. One of the materials that we sometimes have a challenge with is compostable materials. And compostable materials are typically foodware items that are made out of compostable product like a sugar cane or something like that. But in Sonoma County, and actually throughout the state, many of the facilities that actually compost this material are actually register themselves as organic. But the federal government has stated that these compostable products are not organic, that they actually have synthetic binding materials. So if you were to receive this product, as a part of your feedstock in your compost bin, then the material would actually require that your compost is not organic. So making organic compost is really important here in California. There's about almost 5,000 compost facilities throughout the United States, and 185 of them accept all types of food waste, but less than half of them accept BPI certified compostable bioplastics. And same in California, there's 160 compost facilities, only 38 accept food waste, and only 14 of those accept BPI certified compostable plastics. So we are looking to build a new compost facility here in Sonoma County to be in compliant with SB 1383, but we're also trying to research what is the proper feedstock. Can we really accept those biodegradable products in our feedstock? So we did a lot of research. We spoke to industry experts. We listened to many presentations on their challenges and their successes of accepting these compostable products. We reviewed white papers and case studies. And we did recognize that there are some benefits of the BPI certified compostable products. They do enhance food waste collection. And if you're trying to capture as much organics as possible, that's really important. There are some studies that compostable plastics made from plants may be better than petroleum-based fossil fuel products. And also with that BPI certification is what we use in the United States. That certification states that the products actually break down within 3 to 6 months in a commercial composting facility. But we also found that there's many challenges with these products when you allow them into your compost stream. They actually don't always compost at the rate that BPI certification states. Contamination happens. It's really confusing at the compost facility if that product is a compostable product or a single-use plastic product. It also hurts the resale value of the compost. As I mentioned, in Sonoma County, we want to create organic compost, certified organic compost, but if we accept that material, then we can't sell the compost as organic, so that hurts our resale value. It also complicates, it's also more expensive to try and get these materials out, so there's a lot of screening happening, and it's actually more expensive to the overall processing. So another thing that we found out is that many of these compostable products that are being collected in some communities are actually being sorted out. So, or the person thinks that they're putting a compostable product in their green bin only to find out that it's actually being sorted out and thrown away as trash. So we really wanted to tell the real story and not just accept these products, even though knowing it's actually getting screened out and thrown away because at the compost facility, they just can't tell what's what. So we looked around to see, what is the most progressive things happening throughout the state when it comes to single-use products. I like this example from Santa Monica in the Los Angeles area, and they require that all straws and utensils are fiber-based. All to-go packaging is also fiber. Lids on top of cups were going away. That happened last year. And then they're banning styrofoam, straws, single-use utensils that are made out of plastic. So that was a really good example for us to look at. Another community called Alameda, this is located close to San Francisco. They actually had another campaign called Reusables Are Best, and they wanted to promote consumers bringing all their to-go containers into the restaurants, and that was what was best. Fiber compostables, great. So we know that the fibers actually do break down in the compost facility, and then all single-use plastics was going away. In Berkeley, California, this is also just outside of San Francisco, they also had a single-use foodware and litter reduction ordinance, which was very similar to the previous ones mentioned, although they do accept BPI certified products that are compostable. But really, by the end of their 3-phase program, if you're going to be inside a restaurant you are going to be using reusable foodware inside a restaurant, and only to go can be that fiberware. So we looked at our options. We actually formed a committee here in Sonoma County to determine what's best. Our first option was using unlined fiber products only. That's our current system, and that's for foodware. Option 2 was using the BPI certified compostable foodware, the plastic looking materials, or option 3, having a single route for just commercial, which is the restaurants using BPI certified products, but having residents use the unlined fiber products. So what does that look like on the ground? Option 1, you can see what would be accepted. The foodware made out of fibers only, and the products that would not be accepted in composting. Option 2 would be the BPI certified products, including those made out of plastics, and then those that are not accepted. When we did our analysis, we found out that this was actually the very most expensive system to put into place here in Sonoma County. And then option 3 would be commercial routes could have the compostable certified BPI products, and then residents would go back to what we're doing now. So in the end, we decided to stick with what we're doing, and that was the best scenario. We also looked at other problematic products like polystyrene foam, sometimes known as styrofoam, and we decided that we were going to ban styrofoam throughout Sonoma County. And this supported our zero waste resolution and our climate action goals. We also wanted to recognize that there's many other alternative products out there that are reusable and truly compostable and recyclable in Sonoma County, so we wanted to promote those products. And we just wanted to support protecting environmental health, our waterways, and our wildlife health, and really just eliminate these single-use polystyrene foam products, because as we know, when they get into the environment, they break down into smaller plastics called microplastics and end up in the whole environmental chain. So when we also banned polystyrene foam, we recognize that the fiber-only products have an added chemical in them called PFAS. PFAS is a very problematic product in the environment, and it's used in many products, including the lining of pans, in cleaning supplies, but it's also used in fiber-based to-go products. And PFAS is a problem because it's carcinogenic. It's linked to cancer. So when we were trying to figure out what is the best products out there, we had to acknowledge that PFAS is a very problematic product. And we have seen PFAS being eliminated in many products. There's actually a movement here in the United States. Many of our big national companies have already banned PFAS, including McDonald's, grocery store chain like Whole Foods, Chipotle, Wendy's, fast food. So they are all banned PFAS in their single-use fiber foodware products, as well as 2 states have also banned PFAS. So as a county, we decided we were going to follow suit and really let the PFAS industry know that we don't want this chemical in our foodware items. We also required that single-use straws, beverage lids, utensils, and to-go condiments will only be provided upon request when somebody's getting these products to go. So we didn't want the industry to just assume that everybody wants these products. And this was really important, especially during COVID, because so many people were getting food brought in from to-go restaurants, and they we likely already have utensils at home or condiments at home. So we required that those are only upon request by the customer. And then we designated some problematic products cannot be sold in Sonoma County. And that includes ice chests made out of polystyrene foam, the little peanuts for packaging, and grocery stores can no longer even sell cups made out of polystyrene. So we're really trying to eliminate these products throughout our community. In the end, our campaign is reusables is best, recyclable and the fiber-only compostable products is great, and polystyrene foam and products without PFAS is the direction we're going. So those are some of the policy initiatives we've been working on here in Sonoma County, and I thank you very much for your time and welcome any questions you may have. Thank you.
Muito obrigada.